This section builds the tension toward the confrontation and highlights the desperation of the characters as they prepare to face the creature. The ritual and ancient lore add a rich layer of depth to the story. Let me know if you'd like to continue or adjust anything. The creature emerged from the trees like a nightmare-given form. Its movements were unnaturally fast, almost inhuman, and the air itself seemed to grow heavier with its presence. Every instinct in me screamed to run, but I stayed still, my body frozen in place by a mix of fear and adrenaline. The moon rose high, casting strange shadows through the canopy, shadows that seemed to move independently of the wind. Then, it appeared. We positioned ourselves in a makeshift blind, constructed according to traditional designs, blessed with prayers neither of us fully understood, but felt compelled to honor. The waiting was excruciating. Hours passed like years as the forest grew darker, colder, and more oppressive. Every sound made us tense, the crack of a branch, the rustle of leaves, the distant cry of an owl that didn't sound quite right. Elizabeth meticulously prepared everything. Sacred herbs burned in carefully placed braziers. Animal scents spread to create a trail the creature would be compelled to follow. We set our trap just after sunset, knowing from the texts that the creature would be at its strongest then. For days, we gathered materials, sacred herbs, specially prepared weapons, ritual items that hadn't been used in generations. We developed a plan, a combination of ancient wisdom and modern tactics. We would set our trap in a clearing identified in the texts as a place of power, a natural amphitheater where the creature's supernatural abilities could be weakened. The old texts spoke of methods for dealing with such beings, specific rituals, preparations, and prayers that might give us a fighting chance. Elizabeth proved to be a wellspring of knowledge about traditional warfare. She knew how to prepare special mixtures of herbs and animal scents that might attract or repel the creature. We realized we couldn't go to the authorities. Who would believe us? And if they did, there was too much risk of the wrong people getting involved. This was our problem. Our responsibility. The government connection emerged slowly. Elizabeth uncovered old documents, carefully preserved by her grandfather, detailing a classified program from the 1950s. The military had known about the creature. They had even tried to capture it for study, but each attempt had ended in disaster, and the program had never officially been shut down. We spent weeks poring over ancient texts and oral histories, piecing together the fragments of lore. The creature we learned about wasn't just a forest predator. It was a guardian, a being tasked with protecting sacred sites from human intrusion. But something had changed. The attacks were becoming more frequent, more violent, extending beyond its traditional territory. Our people had known about this thing for centuries, she explained, carefully turning pages that looked ready to crumble in her hands. The elders called it the Shadow Walker, though that's just the closest translation. The original name, she told me, was too dangerous to speak aloud. Ah, yes. I know I do because I borrowed every object off the floor to assist me. I mean, I've done everything. I've been on acid to ditch iPads and taken notes on a zinc. She reached for a stack of old books, family heirlooms passed down through generations. Your story is unfolding beautifully, weaving suspense, mystery, and deep cultural ties into the narrative. Here's a refined version of the next part, preserving the tone and atmosphere while enhancing the pacing and flow.